Hi everyone, welcome to the monthly climate review for the Northern Rockies, January 2020, from the National Weather Service office in Missoula, Montana. Some highlights in January. It's been our warmest January in about 14 years, 2005 and 6. Our snowpack has gone back to near normal. We've had very few extreme cold days. For example, Missoula has not recorded a temperature below zero this winter so far. That's only happened twice in 127 years here at Missoula during the winter season. We will be talking about some of the more notable weather events later in this presentation. First of all, we've had some near record warmth in January, as mentioned in the last 14 years. Missoula has recorded its fourth warmest January on record, Kalispell 8th, Pierce the 5th warmest, and Butte the 7th warmest. This data goes from 1948 to present. Near record warmth has also occurred for the months of December and January combined. It's been the third warmest December and January in Missoula on record, Kalispell 2nd, Butte 8th, and Pierce 2nd warmest December and January. Kind of look at the region as a whole. It's been warm across much of the west this January, as detected by this graph on the left. You can see temperatures 6 to 10 degrees above normal in some areas, especially in the Great Basin and parts of western Montana. You can see here in central Montana and parts of the Highline, temperatures have been below normal. Percent of average precipitation, you can see here in the southwest it's been awful dry. But here in the Pacific Northwest, this January we've had several weather systems move into the Pacific Northwest, which is the type of systems that have been very favorable for mountain snows, especially along the Cascades, central Idaho, along the and western Montana and up in Glacier National Park. Here's our snow water equivalent comparison. In the mountains, you can see January 1st, there really wasn't a whole lot of snow water equivalent. Actually, snowpack was below normal in these areas. And you can see by the end of January, January 31st, the graph is noticeably higher for snow water equivalent. So the mountains are back to near normal for snow water equivalent. Here you can see all the basins in western Montana on the left, right around 100%. Same thing in the clear waters, right around 100%. In early January, these areas were running anywhere from 60 to 80% of normal. So let's get into some details for some selected cities, or some of our official sites. The average temperature in January 2020 ranged from 25 degrees in Butte to 31.6 in Missoula. This graph really tells the difference in that the temperature was 5.8 degrees above normal for the month of January in Missoula, as well as in Kalispell and Butte. So we go over to Idaho. We do have data for Salmon and Pierce through the end of the month. And you see their averages here. But it's the departures that tell the story, where Salmon was 1.5 degrees above normal and Pierce 2.6 degrees above normal. Not quite as much as western Montana, but still above normal. Precipitation, Missoula, Kalispell, and Butte. This is the actual liquid precipitation we had this month. And it's the departure from normal that tells the story. And in Missoula and Kalispell, we're right at or slightly above normal for precipitation. But Butte is the southwest Montana, as indicated by earlier graphs. You can really tell the deficit of precipitation they've had, only 19%. In fact, they now as we get into central Idaho, Salmon, similar to Butte, not that much precipitation, and Pierce has had 8 inches, which, if you look at percent of normal, Salmon's below normal with about 80%, and Pierce is pretty wet, about 160% of normal. Total snowfall for Missoula and Kalispell. Missoula had not a lot of snowfall this month, only 3.1 inches. while Kalispell did have 18.1 inches in the month of January. We do not keep snowfall data for Butte. Departure from normal, Missoula, which tells the story, 37% of normal, and Kalispell, 150% of normal. Snowfall in January across parts of central Idaho, Salmon 6 inches, Pierce 44.3. Again, we don't have any data for Orofino at this time. Departures, near normal in Salmon and slightly above normal in Pierce at 138% of normal. Okay, some of our weather highlights, some of our events that we've had this month. We had a high wind event on January 4th where Northwest Montana Power in Northwest Montana, we had outages near Kyla and Zolanite, wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. We had high winds and snow January 6th in Grangeville and Camas Prairie, Idaho. This is a picture of a drive-in movie theater that was destroyed in Grangeville from high winds. Semi-truck and trailer was blown off Highway 95, and they had a foot of snow in Cottonwood with blowing and drifting. We had a winter storm in January 5th through 7th, which multiple semi-slide-offs occurred, especially near Lookout Pass. Snowfall had 18 inches in Polebridge and 12 to 18 inches in West Glacier to Essex and Marias Pass. 300 people went without power due to heavy snowfall. This storm occurred mainly in northwest Montana. Valley snowfall. We had some one of our few valley snowfall events this month on January 10th. Down here in Missoula, we had 2 inches. Most of the snow, the biggest snow amounts occurred up in northwest Montana, Kalispell right around 3-4 inches. Some of the lower valleys, Noxon, Libby, and Yak about 5 inches. Then we had a widespread winter storm on January 12th and 13th across all of western Montana. This was a pretty big event. Dickey Lake had heavy snow, quarter-mile visibility. Libby, 4 to 5 inches of snow. Probably one of the bigger impacts was along Highway 2 from Marias Pass to West Glacier with over a foot of snow and temperatures recorded of 38 below zero wind chill at Marias Pass. That deep cold air didn't really make it down into west central Montana, but some of the snow did. Another widespread winter storm, January 12th through 13th, across north central Idaho, where 2 to 3 feet fell in the central Clearwater County mountains. Heavy snow along Highway 12, Lola Pass to central Idaho, and then we had also heavy snow in central Idaho in the valleys down near Elk City. That's it for the month of January recap. If you have any questions, please give us a call. You can follow us on Twitter at NWS Missoula, Facebook NWS Missoula, where you can ask questions and write comments. We'll be posting this video on YouTube, and you can just search for us at NWS Missoula where you could find this video. I hope everyone has a nice day.